Hi, welcome to another video. Today I want to talk about the anime that changed my life as well, that's what I said, but I should more like say inspired me. Inspired me for things like swimming and things like that. There will be spoilers in the video for it, but I do suggest you go watch it yourself anyway. So what is the mystery anime? That mystery anime is none other than Kenko Zenra Sueibu Umisho by Mitsuru Hattori. It's pretty nostalgic for me, so let me explain what it is. Umisho is a swimming anime. It's actual swimming, not like Keijo. In the first episode, a girl with green hair named Amuro arrives on a boathouse to Umineko, name of the place where the story takes place. Amuro has a race with Orizuka and joins the swim team. Orizuka wants to find out the secret behind Amuro's weird swimming style, so she goes swimming with her in the ocean. Kaname, our main character, goes with them by getting pulled under into the water, and he almost drowns due to not being able to swim. In the second episode, Ikamasa appears, and everyone shaves each other. Shizuoka is actually a pervert, despite her shy appearance, and Makio is learning how to swim with a floaty board. And also Ono-chan the seal also exists. In episode 3, the tri-meet starts, and the advisor is a pervert, of course. And then he gets beaten up for it. Umisho does come last place in the tri-meet because all the boys suck at swimming and Amuro got disqualified. Kaname then goes to the beach with Amuro. A shark appears. It turns out that shark is just Ikamasa. Kaname fell into the water, but with the help of Amuro, he didn't drown. Ikamasa comes back and sees that Kaname is standing in the water and thinks he can actually swim. So Ikamasa decides to drag Kaname off with him. I find Ikamasa hilarious. His family restaurant has trouble. Then he decides to ask for help of the swim team. The idea the swim team came up with is using maids in swimsuits to attract attention to the restaurant. Oh Jesus. It works a little too well, and Ikamasa lets the money get to his head, and he becomes rich. Things with the maid swimsuit restaurant go too far, so Orizuka puts a stop to the swimsuit restaurant. In episode 4, the swim team does training exercises, and Ikamasa gets thrown out the window. Incidents involving Shizuoka happen in the baths. Ikamasa is cooking some strange poisonous mushrooms on the barbecue. Ikamasa also sucks at mahjong.
Come. Alone.
まあなんでかっこいい人なんとそういうことするの
いや、勝負ですし。
A storm hit Amuro's house, and the perverted Takeda shows up with food and drinks. And then he said the only way for him to give them the food and drinks for the girls will be if they obey his orders. Takeda is a real creep. At least he falls in the sea though, along with the food and drink. The eye catchers are really good as well in this show. I love them and their tune. In episode 5, Amuro stays at Kaname's house for a bit and starts wearing his clothes. They spend some time together and they find Shizuoka was in the temple. From Amuro's dad, we get some backstory where Amuro's grandma went missing a year ago, and the X's on Amuro's head are from her grandma. And there is supposedly, jokingly, a curse that Amuro gets if she loses those two X's on her head. Amuro has seemingly gone missing, and everyone from the swim team are looking for her, and she's just on a little rock by herself. It's also hilarious because Ikamasa gets blasted with hot water when he tries to cross the gap to get to Amuro.
来ちゃダメです。
さあは行くか
だから言ったのに。
In episode 6, a new character is introduced called Maya. And she's a fashion model, and she's introduced and joins Umisho. She is and was my favorite character from the show. Maya ends up controlling the boys and makes them create a private changing room for her, which is very fancy. And Ikamasa starts drilling holes in the holes in the walls for the windows for renovation purposes.
おう
部長
みんな泥臭いな。物質を改造するならするで言ってくれや。
The whole room ends up collapsing and is destroyed. So a race is held to see who gets the room. If the boys win, the boys get the room. If the girls win, the girls get the room. And if Ikamasa wins, everyone just dresses outside the club room. Amuro is out of energy and loses one of the X's on her head. You'll end up going on a wild goose chase for the lost X because everyone thinks that it is giving Amuro that curse from her grandma. So you'll go on a massive hunt and it gets thrown around everywhere all across the town. Also in episode 7, while the chase for the X is going on, Shizuoka almost buys a very strange statue. While everyone's making a crazy tower to try and get the X that's on top of a Buddha statue, Amuro gets her energy back from eating food and grabs it for herself, while everyone else tumbles down to the floor. And it wasn't a curse in the first place. Boys have a meeting in the club room and they start to play mahjong and they end up messing around. They even go and wear the swimsuit. The prefectural tournament starts and Umineko's rival school is Shinomiya University. There's a blonde lady named Nanjo and she has a rivalry going on with Orizuka. After a very climactic finish, Umisho ends up winning the tournament. Umineko High School ends up winning the tournament. In episode 9, Sanae tells the backstory of the swim team, where the 3 original founders are Orizuka, Ikamasa, and her. And Ikamasa wants to start a mahjong club. But due to fake moments being added in, like Sanae and Orizuka having a more than friends relationship, it's unknown whether this is the truth or not. But Orizuka comes and tells the truth, where Sanae was being lazy and didn't want to do any work, and Orizuka was the one doing all the work and wanting to make the swim team a reality. Makio makes a website for the swim team, which begins to look terrible. But with some studying, Makio makes the website look pretty good. And it looks nice and organized too. But then because of the addition of Photoshop and just fake imagery like this, the website ends up getting shut down. In episode 10, the Ono Island Festival is here, and Kaname is there with Amuro. They end up meeting with Maya, and she gets upset because Kaname is hanging out with Amuro. So she runs off and finds Makio, and then they form the Breast Massage Alliance. Because Maya and Makio both want bigger boobs, but it eventually gets disbanded. Ikamasa is running a stall where you can get fish and catch them. When Amuro gets too good at it, Ikamasa decides to up the difficulty by adding eels into the water, which is where things go bad. There's a watermelon eating contest that is held, and if you fail, then you get dropped into a tank of water. So Kaname is trying his best to not fall so he doesn't drown. So he needs to win and beat everybody else. Akita and his group are hitting on girls, and they sit down with the girls from Shinomiya, and they seem to be having a good time. Until their sweet moment is ruined because Takeda decided to accidentally hit on a little girl, and he ends up going to the police station and the girls ditch him and all of his friends, and they are all creeped out, as they rightfully should be. In episode 11, during training, Ikamasa makes a weird swimsuit called the Moto 1, and he jumps into the water to show its power, but it comes to music, so it gets electrocuted. They decide to do some tube practice for the bicycle tubes because Ikamasa stole them. And then Almudar is testing its limits, and then she ends up getting pulled back. And then Takeda gets pushed in front, and Takeda gets knocked out from a flying Almudar. There's an endurance test with Umisho versus Shinomiya in the baths, and Umisho wins because of Shizuoka just staying there not wanting to be seen. Also, the Kanto tournament begins. Maya also gets upset because she lost for the first time in swimming, and Shizuoka ended up helping her, and Maya feels better. In the second day of the Kanto tournament, there is a girl named Nagi who's part of Quadruplets, and she's from a rival school and she loves Amuro. So Amuro got confused at all four of the quadruplets when she first met Nagi. There's a power of song and is letting the quadruplets swim faster, and Ikamasa and Umisho make their own song which is completely out of tune and hilarious, but Ikamasa ends up traumatizing the singers because his pants fall down, and then they stop singing and everything's out of sync. Orizuka also gets a leg cramp, so Amuro goes to swim in her place in the finals. Ikamasa tried to cross-dress, tried to swim in the finals, but it doesn't work. Umisho ends up winning the finals against all the other schools and gets to go to compete into the inter-highs. And it turns out this whole time, the mermaid that Kaname was scared of was Amuro. And small Amuro was the one that saved him as a kid when he was drowning. The anime leaves us with setting the stage for the inter-highs in Okinawa, but sadly there is no season 2 on the horizon that shows Amuro and her family in Okinawa, even if it did set up for one. And Amuro and Kaname kiss each other to end off on the final scene of the anime. I would say throughout the whole show and manga, my favorite characters were Maya Nanako, Amuro Ninagawa, Ikamasa, Momoka Orizuka, and Ryu, one of Amuro's siblings. He likes to cross-dress and tease others. And a little bit ago, now it's been actually quite a while as of the recording of this video, I did read the manga for Umisho. And I have to say, as much as I like the anime, I did think the manga had slightly better pacing, but the anime is still alright with its pacing. After finishing the manga, it was like finishing a journey after rewatching the anime so many times. And seeing these characters I grew to like so much, Orizuka, Sanae, and Ikamasa all graduating from Umisho, and the swim team almost brought me to tears, to be honest. And Orizuka passing the swim team down to the second years. There was a vote between Takeda versus Okiura, who would succeed the swim team, and quite obviously with majority, Okiura won, and Takeda lost. I also wanted to add that Takeda's really slimy, because he used blackmail to get most of his votes, because he took secret pictures. Jesus, man. I am glad Okiura won that. All because Takeda didn't vote for himself, so it wasn't a tie. And when the Umisho swim team was eventually disbanded at the end of the story, and everyone went their separate ways, it really finished up the big story that was important to me. And it was very nice to see Kaname and Amuro get together in the end and just go on their little raft boat house thing, like the sea boat, the sea house. Oh yeah, and Amuro's grandma, who went missing the whole time, since the start of the show. Yeah, she was just hunting a big whale for over 2 years, and then she came back. And Himekawa also became a bit more relevant and more involved in the story later on in the manga. I hope you enjoyed this video. This anime and manga series by Mitsuru Hattori means a lot to me. And while you might not be able to understand why, I'm sure you can at least see why I like it so much. I'll see you in the next video, everyone. Bye 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 bye.